it's not how much defections you have that win an election. It's the people that decide the elections in the end. So, in fact, we should ask many of the governors, when are you going to the APC? The transfer season is still open. All of you can go if you want. But it is the people that will determine what will happen on election day. As regards the National Assembly meeting, yes, there's a strong point. If my memory is serving right, I think in 2003, elections too were supposed to be held, first dated to be held around the period for, I think, Christian holiday and all of that. I think it was shifted forward, if my memory serves me around, for Easter. So this one, there's a strong point because you want people to come out and vote. But I think the biggest story over the weekend as regards election was the point of view by Mike Guinea and the letter he released to many media houses, where he nullified all the counter arguments people make as regards transmission. He said, not my words, that 97% of the area of coverage in this country has between 2G to 3G network. And the other areas, the 3%, they have effectively accounted for those areas. Those are the areas they call blind spots. They did this study before the elections. So the argument of the Senate falls flat on logic that 70% broadband, and because of that, you see, the Senate doesn't even understand the argument. You are talking about broadband. What we are talking about is 700 kilobytes of data transfer. 2G, 3G will do it successfully. So the argument the Senate was trying to put forward was wrong. But I think the greatest argument we should now have should be about, number one, if what is on the IRF portal cannot be made justiciable as evidence, we are joking. No? We should ask for full transmission so that the process will go well. Once you put in provisos, any proviso that they put in that is accepted by generality is as good as not having an election. And mark it down. Mark my words. If they pass that law, with that proviso, the electoral rigging and shenanigan that happened in 2027 will be mind-blowing. Write it down. Bet it with me. Quote me. If they pass that law with that proviso, the rigging, the rigging will happen 2027. Go and write it down. Because when they want to manipulate the system, they look for provisos. So we should be careful. I think we'll be able to nullify every argument. As regards those that make argument for network and everything, Igini worked in INEC based on the results, the research they did with NCC. 97% of the areas have 2 to 3G network.
On the issue of the National Assembly reconvening, now the Joint Consultative Committee, Conference Committee, it is called, on the harmonization of the amendment bill of the Electoral 2022 is meeting today. They were given last week a 1-week window within which they could reconcile the position of the Senate and the House of Representatives. So that would be of interest in the course of the week. What do they decide? What do they come up with in terms of electronic real-time transmission? The Senate, having decided last week to say that, look, we're not going to do real-time mandatory for reasons having to do with the failure of infrastructure, the level of penetration, as Senate Majority Leader Senator Bamidele Opeyemi pointed out over the weekend. The other meeting is a meeting that is scheduled for tomorrow. And we have been told that with INEC announcing the timetable and schedule of activities, some of the reactions is that February 20, which is for presidential and National Assembly elections, will clash with Ramadan. Even Atiku Abubakar, Waziri Adama has pointed out that between that February 20 and March 8 will be Ramadan. So if you have presidential National Assembly elections on February 20 and other elections, gubernatorial and state elections on March 6th, it will fall within that window. We understand that is one of the things that the emergency plenary that has now been summoned for tomorrow will be looking at. So the question will be, okay, what does this mean? Is it sensitive? Is it divisive? Is religion now dictating the pace? Not to talk of other stakeholders who have said they are going to withdraw from the election because of Ramadan, because it will affect turnout and all of that. Now,